This is Transformers Generations Fall of Cybertron Deluxe Class Air Raid. The figure is part of the third wave of Transformers Generations Fall of Cybertron Deluxe Class figures. And folks, this was the figure I was least excited about when they actually showed pictures of him at Comic-Con. But he turned out to be a pleasant surprise. I am actually thoroughly impressed with this figure. So before we begin, let's have a quick look at the packaging. Pretty cool. Not entirely sure if it's a good representation of Air Raid's face, but yeah, it'll pass. I wasn't growing up watching G1 aerial bots in the 80s, wasn't a big fan of the aerial bots. I love the Constructicons. I like the Dinobots. I like the Combaticons, but the aerial bots weren't really one of my favorites on the show. Now, I think there was a point I read somewhere that this guy was supposed to be Fireflight, but because of his colors, because of his darker colors, I think Hasbro decided to call him Air Raid for some weird reason. Now, I'm not too familiar with the G1 face. It might resemble his face a little bit, but anyway, it's a nice attempt at Hasbro to bring in more characters from G1, making them look like, giving them Cybertronian forms. That's interesting. If you didn't already know, this figure is a retool of Fall of Cybertron. Shockwave. They've given him a new head, and well, obviously a different paint apps, a new chest, just like Sideswipe, and just brilliant new weapons. I'm still really very appreciative of what Hasbro's trying to do. It's as though they're making up for the reduction in size of the deluxe class figures, and trying to give the fans more plastic, just to make up for the smaller, more diminutive size of their deluxe class figures. They've went out and given us more plastic with this new batch of generations. Fall of Cybertron figures. For instance, Air Raid now has a part from a gun, which is some leftover parts of, I think, Shockwave's Trigun. He's got a sword it doesn't pop out, it just folds in. Can become a gun. And he's got this sort of like He-Man sword that gets split open because of transformation. So really, really impressed with what Hasbro's done with these new batch of figures for Fall of Cybertron. Light piping, very minimal. But I'm really, really liking this figure. If you're thinking it's just another Shockwave repaint and it'll probably not look like an Autobot, you're probably right. It is a Shockwave retool, redeco, and he looks more like a Decepticon than an Autobot. But overall, in terms of playability, in terms of the value that it has increased because of the extra plastic, this is quite an impressive figure. What was I going to say? The plastic, well, it looks kind of cheap. Yes, I'll agree with that. It's a very dull, pale red. But the paint, especially, and this one, the plastic they use for the gray, it's sort of like a sort of flake gunmetal gray. It really more than makes up for the cheap look of the red plastic. The silver paint on him is just amazing. There's hardly any paint flaws that I see in this figure. So very, very nice. You can opt to combine this particular weapon, and just like Shockwave, you can make it so that the blade just popped out of his hand. So that's pretty cool. This one, you can have a double sword like that, as some medieval weapons tend to look like. So that's pretty cool. really impressed with this figure. This is made of translucent plastic, as well as this one. So, articulation is exactly the same as Shockwave. There's a little bit of mold degradation, as you can see. These pieces have become very loose. To transform him, just like Shockwave, go ahead and fold up the arms like that. Yeah. Detach this one. Fold the head that way and fold it up this way, just like that. Rotate these panels here. At this time, the instructions tell you to attach the weapons one at a time. Attach this one first, then this. I think it doesn't matter. I think you could attach both of them at the same time. Go ahead and fold this one down up here. Tab his feet together. Go ahead and fold this one here. This one here. This is a little bit tight, just like Shockwave. Okay. Just tab the arms over here. I think you should just join them together before. Tab it right there. Okay. It's a little, yeah, it's a little bit, they're a little bit loose. The pegs are a little bit loose. Yeah, it's understandable. The sword fits on top. Autobot symbols inverted. That's fine. And there you have Air Raid in his, what is it? Cybertronian Mobile Artillery Mode. So it's pretty cool. Here is War for Cybertron Bumblebee. Yeah, he's small, but the extra weapons more than makes up for the diminutive size. And I'm just really happy that Hasbro's went out of their way to try and please fans. Especially, this is a retool. They've tried to do as much retooling as they can. The head sculpt, the chest, new weapons. So kudos to Hasbro team for doing this. Thank you for not just giving us just a regular repaint. Because of the way the blades transform, you could sort of, if it's okay with you, sort of give him like a blade mode, a hyper mode or whatever, so he can slash through the air, slash some Decepticons, whatever. So that's pretty cool. So overall, I'm not thoroughly disappointed with this one. I was expecting this one to be just a ho-hum figure. As it turns out, it's looking to be one of my favorites for this wave. So it's a very cool figure. If you have a chance to pick it up, if you have the means to do so, you're not overly bored with repaints. I think it's a good pickup, especially if you're a big fan of the aerial bots. So there you go, folks. Hope you enjoyed this video review. Follow me on two of my channels on YouTube, FX Friends and Chefatron. Check out the videos on Tech Sushi. I'm one of the contributors there. Follow me on Keek, Twitter, and Instagram. There you go, folks. This has been the Transformers Generations Fall of Cybertron Deluxe Class Air Raid. Thanks for watching.